Train the muscles, not the joints. So welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why focus is important in your training. So a lot of times people are spending all their time comparing all this conflicting advice. One day they're on a high fat diet, next day they're on a high carb diet, next day they're on Atkins, then they're doing intermittent fasting, then they're doing a 3-day split, then they're doing a whole body workout, and they're all over the place. But the thing is that I just want you to know that there are relevant points to all techniques. All techniques have some relevance as long as your intensity and your focus is there. If your intensity and your focus is there, then you will put the effort out to cause an adaptation of the body, meaning you will push it. You will push the body, you will cause it to adapt by basically giving it some sort of stimulus. Now, a mistake a lot of people make is that they think that there's a magic bullet, that there's the magic perfect program, there's the magic perfect technique that will all of a sudden make all of the training easy and instantaneously, voila, they got results. Although I do know for a fact there are techniques to assist with building muscle, the fact is that jumping on one program for 2 days and then another program for 2 days and then one diet for 2 days and then another diet for 2 days, none of this is going to work. I mean, a lot of people that say, I'm going to go on a low carb diet for a period of time or moderately low carb, and I'm going to have high fat and I'll have bacon, I'll have cheese, I'll have eggs, and I'll be able to have all this kind of fat and it'll be great. Then of course, 2 days into it, they're like, wow, I just wish I could have a cookie or a muffin or a piece of bread. Finally can get my personal training certification. And then they start looking at that stuff and say, oh, maybe I should go to high carb now. So then they go back to the high carb, and basically any gains that they would have made on this diet, they weren't even on it long enough in order to see what part of it worked and what part of it didn't. So what I'm saying is focus and discipline. Focus and discipline are important for anything that you do. And then once you start to do your own experiment and stick with things long enough to see what's actually happening, then you can start making strategic decisions in your training and your nutrition from there. So that's what I would recommend. You want to discipline yourself. You want to discipline yourself to stick to it. And most of you guys on this channel are already disciplined. I'm sure that you are. But it is easy for that discipline to be broken because you'll see somebody say something over here and then somebody say that over there, and then you'll start second guessing your own intuition in some cases, or second guessing what you already know to be true about your body. So it's good to expand. It's good to try new things.
You just ask me how my training's go. My training's go good. My training's go good.
I feel that so much in the delts. That's why I don't touch my chest. Just bear in mind when you're switching that you have to switch to something and then stick to it for a certain period of time at least, at least for a few weeks or something before you really know whether it works or whether it doesn't. That's the only way you'll know whether a technique's relevant or not, is if you stick to it long enough to find out. And I find that a lot of people aren't giving themselves long enough time. They're not giving themselves a long enough period of time to find out whether the technique is working or not because they're so worried about doing the wrong technique. And the thing is, there's no wrong technique because every technique will lead you to wisdom. Even if it snaps you, it will lead you to some sort of wisdom, right? We've all been there. We've all sometimes snapped ourselves or caused some sort of problem, or basically tried one type of dietary technique. Like I tried different diet. I remember, one for instance, I was getting ready for a bodybuilding show, and I met a guy that was the manufacturer of an essential oil company, and he was adamant saying that no matter what, you can have as much omega-3s as you want in your diet. Don't worry, you will not deposit as body fat. And although he was mostly right about that, he wasn't all the way right about that, because I was having a lot of protein in my diet, and then I was having a ton of essential fats, like, guzzling the bottle basically all day. And I was having a lot of green vegetables, and I showed up lean, so I looked great gym lean, but competition lean, that's a new level of lean. From 6% to 4% is a whole other level of diet effort, okay? A whole new level of effort in your diet in order to be able to achieve that. So I knew that, yeah, that essential oil method was great up until a certain point, but then in order for me to get in real shape, like extremely shredded shape, I had to cut that down as well. So basically that's how I learned. I made the mistake. So I grew my awareness from doing that, but I had to have the focus to stick to a certain program for a period of time in order to find out whether that was true or not. So this is the thing, the focus will be your currency for finding new awareness and what's working and what isn't in your diet and your training. Now again, what I want people to really focus on is the focus itself. And I see a lot of people when they're in the gym, even when they're in the middle of a set, there's just no intensity there. And growing muscle is all about intensity. It's not like running or jogging, okay? When you're jogging, it's all about energy conservation, so you can continue for as long a period of time. Where bodybuilding or gaining muscle or power is all about how much effort can you expel in the shortest period of time, all right? So even if you're doing a set of 15 reps, you want to be basically doing those reps so that you're concentrating on it and you're getting as many reps as you possibly can, safely of course, after warm-ups, all this kind of stuff. But you want to be basically hitting that absolute failure. And that intensity has to come from here. The intensity has to be here first before it can come into the body. I see a lot of guys in the gym, they're like, in between sets, they're just like on their phone. It's almost like they're shopping at Walmart or something. I mean, they're just not, they're not even in the gym. And I'm all about intensity in the gym. And even when I interact with people, I'm interacting with them intensely because I'm holding on to that intensity inside for each set, because I'm trying to attack the muscle and attack those sets with a certain amount of focus, because sets are all about the goal. The goal in itself is connecting in that moment so deeply that you are knowing and feeling and experiencing every aspect of your body and the coordination and the balance and everything all at the same time. And then from there, at the end of your set, you produce a result, right? But this takes focus. Focus is something I find a lot of people are lacking, because I think we are distracted so much by so much social media engagement. I mean, the television is with you everywhere you go in the form of a phone, right? So people are taking their phones in the gym and they're so used to constantly this and then having a conversation, and then they're looking at this again and then having a conversation, and then they're doing their shopping and they're back and forth. So their awareness and their focus is spread out all over the place. But when you're in the gym, I want you to, at least during your set, I want you to bring your focus and just attack the set. The set itself, that's your world. Don't think about everything else that's going on in your life. You have to collapse all of that and be here 100%, kind of like the Bruce Lee method, the 1-inch punch. Everything is right here in this moment with that set. And that is going to produce way more results than you saying, I want to find the perfect sort of program. I always joke about this, but it's the truth. Back in the day, I used to see guys that would left brain themselves through all their programs. They'd have everything written down. They'd have calculations, all the percentages, all this kind of stuff. But they were always the smallest guys in the gym. I mean, every time I had an experience with them, I'm sure there are some of you guys out there that are keeping track, and I'm not saying that keeping track is going to kill your gains, but I'm just saying that the guys that were trying to left brain themselves through it, but they lacked the passion and the intensity, they didn't seem to produce the same result as somebody else that maybe didn't know as much about training, but they had that passion and that intensity going towards their goal. They were really focused and really pushing hard when they're in the gym, okay? So this is something that I want to talk about because it's really the truth. Intensity and muscle gains, they do come together. I mean, that's really the truth. I mean, if intensity wasn't a part of it, then just do a 1,000,000 rep set where you can just do easy all day, just like this, just do this all day, then somehow you're going to gain muscle, right? No, it's all about intensity. That's bodybuilding. Bodybuilding, weight training, power sports, all about intensity. So up your intensity, up your focus, and you will get more results. So I hope this helps you out in your training, and thanks a lot for watching, and take care for now. Share my stuff.